It's on! Hello, good afternoon. Everyone out there in interweb land, welcome to another edition of your favorite show of the week. Not called Disney Trivia Live, and that is the Disney Parks Talk Show. And that's not what it's called. Disney Parks Talk Live, that's what we call it, yeah. My name is Jimmy Mosley, co-founder here at Laughing Place. Over there is my wife, sporting the Disney Plus hat. That is Rebecca Mosley. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey.
Down there is that what's his name? Sebastian Coe? No. Carl Lewis? No. Mike has no sports gene. He has no idea what references I'm making. Usain Bolt? Is that Usain Bolt? That one, maybe?
Those are all like short distance people. Did it Mike?
No, the first one was a miler, I believe. Sebastian Coe. Anyway,
they
no, it's
made it very clear to us there was no running allowed in the chalk walk.
It is a walk.
I did not know chalk walk literally meant walk. How funny. What was your time?
Oh, I didn't make note of it, but I probably should have. We stopped frequently along the way to take pictures, so it wouldn't have been terribly accurate.
That is Mike Celestino. He is the host of Who's the Boss Pod, the editor of all things Star Wars here, and our chief correspondent for Disneyland Resort and Southern California theme parks. The fourth member of our team is Jeremiah Good, and he is having trouble getting in. What's his latest message? Go on without me. It can't find my camera. Boy, you better figure it out.
I hate it when that happens.
We have started.
So annoying.
So I told him you better figure it out, but we have started. That's Jeremiah Good. He'll be joining us shortly. He will be the vice president of technical issues again.
I have learned to show up earlier and earlier to iron out the tech issues before the show.
That is always recommended. On the clock anyway. What's the big deal? All right, let's get started with a little bit of serious news that turned out to be, thankfully, not as serious as it could have been, and that's Hurricane Hillary made its way through Southern California yesterday. Certainly wasn't all fun and games, lots of rain. Mike, you were actually in Southern California. What was it like for you down there?
Lots and lots of rain all day long. It was actually really nice. We left when we got home from the chalk walk, we kind of left our front door open and just listened to the rain all day.
Aww.
It was very nice.
No,
a rare occurrence.
His special shirt.
So Disneyland closed early on Sunday, not that early, like an hour early. Everything at the Disneyland Resort. Knott's Berry Farm closed all day. SeaWorld, which is much further south, also closed all day. Thankfully, no damage or major issues for the parks that I'm aware of. And there's also, as far as life and safety goes, thankfully, not as bad as it perhaps could have been. So life back to normal for the theme parks. Let us welcome to the show the vice president of having to do disclaimer every single time, Jeremiah Good. How you doing, Jeremiah?
I'm good.
Yeah. Jeremiah's shirt, provided by Roosevelt's.
And that is a very popular shirt that disappeared very quickly.
Is that Ahsoka?
Yes, it is stunning.
You got ears. You got horns, or what is that what it's called? Horns, ears, headwear.
Please.
What is it called? Is that just a part? Seriously, I'm not a Star Wars fan. Is that a part of her body, or is that something she's wearing?
Part of her body.
No, it's part of her head, and the top part is called montrals, these pointy parts, and then the tentacles that stick down are called leku.
Becca's montrals and leku came courtesy of Disneyland at a media event she was at that we'll talk about a little bit later. But sticking with the hurricane related just for a bit, as you briefly mentioned, Mike, yesterday morning prior to the hurricane, you got out and did some exercise for a good cause, right, Mike?
Yeah, I went to my first ever chalk walk. I had covered it before from a distance, but I had never actually attended the chalk walk at Disneyland, and it was definitely an interesting first one because it was just as the hurricane was like starting up in Orange County.
So you were stunned.
I'm so disappointed I'm not able to look at Instagram on my computer over here because you had some great personal pictures from there. Unfortunately, none of them made the Laughing Place article. But what was it like to do this in the rain? And what's it like to do a chalk walk?
I mean, the walking part, honestly, it's not much more walking. Actually, I wouldn't say it's even as much walking as I ordinarily do when I go to the park, because you do basically a lap around both parks, and that gets you to 5K. And I do that pretty much every time I go down there. So the walking wasn't terribly strenuous. It was just a lot of fun. And you're with a giant group of people. All of them are dressed in their team shirts and rooting each other on. And I know there would have been more characters had it not rained as much as it did, but they've still found a way to put some characters out under, like, anytime they could find a canopy or here underneath the carousel roof there. You've got Mary Poppins and Bert. I saw Indiana Jones in Adventureland. All sorts of characters around. There's Pluto in front of the Opera House there. But they're all cheering you on. It's all for a great cause, for the Children's Hospital of Orange County. People raise money for, pledges for the 5K walk, and then they all go to the park and participate. It's fun for a good cause, and it's very early in the morning.
I know this was the return of Chalk Walk to the parks, right?
Oh yeah, this is the first one since 2019. So obviously didn't happen while the parks were closed during the pandemic. And then, let's see, 2021, I don't think it happened at all. But last year they did kind of a replacement event, which was just like a party in DCA after hours last year. So this is the first official Chalk Walk where people were actually walking through the park since 2019. And it's the first one for both myself and Disneyland Resort President Ken Potrock, who gave a nice speech to kick things off, along with the ambassadors, and Mickey and Minnie were there. There's my Instagram. Oh. You have to log in to look at it, apparently.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at the dedication of that guy waking up. How early did you wake up that day, Mike?
My alarm went off at 2:30 a.m.
No. Did you go to sleep? Why bother? Seriously.
I guess I did fall asleep after midnight, so it wasn't a tremendous amount of sleep. But we passed out like right after we got home, and slept another like 4 or 5 hours, so it was fine. You know what? I was grumpy about it at first, but afterwards I was like pretty happy to have done it. That was a fun, unique experience, and actually, like, my wife Tori and I were saying we would do it again next year if the opportunity arises. So that's a positive review from my part, I think.
And that was after all you were doing some hardcore partying on Friday at Disneyland, right?
Yeah, so there's the Disney Junior play date event. We talk about that next.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so they did a similar thing, I think it was last year, called Disney Junior something or other, but it wasn't called Playdate. This time it was a bigger variety of things happening around the park. They had a parade again, and then they had like a show that featured a handful of different characters. So the thing actually kicked off in the morning with a kind of a press conference type breakfast for the media, which is where I got this photo of Pooh, because there's a new Winnie the Pooh animated series on Disney Junior coming soon. They also previewed a bunch of different shows coming to Disney Junior, including the new Mickey Mouse Club or Mickey Mouse Funhouse, one of those.
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. Okay, with Duffy the Disney Bear. I know that got a lot of traction.
Yes, very exciting.
Hey, hold on. We keep saying Duffy the Disney.
There's never been a better time to get.
He's making a few appearances. Like, he's not a regular, sadly. That's one of the things. Like, every time I'd see it pop up, it was like, Duffy's gonna be on there. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna show up. Truth in advertising, Doobie. Truth in advertising.
I saw Duffy in the press release. Don't take away my Disney Bear. That's all I'm saying. So Mike did the hard partying at Disney Junior Playdate, and then some 2:30 up at 2:30 a.m. for the chalk. How come up till 2:30 and up at 2:30 are completely different things?
Same concept.
All right, let's get to Disney World and give Jeremiah a chance to talk. It's something Jeremiah never does, so he doesn't care, but a lot of people do.
Yes, the trams are coming back. I don't know the exact date because I've ignored this every time it's popped up.
They have not said the exact date. They said next month.
Trams returning to Disney's Hollywood Studios and Epcot. Very, very great benefit for many guests that don't like to get to the entrance quicker. So the trams were promised to be returned almost 2 years ago now. Josh D'Amaro promised at the last Destination D the trams would be back by the end of last year, I believe he said, and they are now coming back officially. So all 4 theme parks will have the trams going. It'll be great. That's very beneficial for all the cast members and for the guests, especially on those busy days of Epcot where you're parked out in Gamora, and that's a long walk.
Yeah, and I am firmly in the camp of, I think you underestimate the value of the trams. I mean, they are more than just what you're describing, because they are your first moments in the park, your first moments as a Disney guest, your last moments as a Disney guest, really. And I can't believe it's taken them this long to bring them back at all 4 parks, to be frank. And I would constantly hear the comparison to other amusement parks that people were visiting, and Disney didn't size up well, given it. When you would go to regional parks and have a tram, and then you'd go to Disney and not all 4 parks had a tram, it came off poorly. And so I'm glad to see whether I don't know all the reasonings behind the scenes or whatnot. I don't know how hard they were working to make it happen. That's people, they're making their decisions. I can just say from consumer side and as a fan, I'm glad, because I think it was kind of a little bit embarrassing that they didn't have them.
Agree 100% with everything Rebecca just said, and I would even go as far as to say Jeremiah is poo-pooing the tram more than he should. Let me ask you, Jeremiah, as someone who I know went to theme parks growing up, do not you have fond memories of taking the tram?
No, because when I would park in the furthest parking spot at Disneyland, it would be a race to get to the entrance, because I would race my...
All right. In other news...
I'm just saying, it takes longer to get on a tram and for them to go through the safety spiel than it does to walk to the entrance.
There is no question it does, but sometimes you just don't want to walk, and not everything is a race, Jeremiah.
Well,
my family took the tram, I promise.
But I think it's way more important at the end of the night. I just do. I think it's way more important at the end of the night when you were coming out of the park, you're all tired, and you had something there that would transport you. That's all.
Jeremiah, if you left the park with your family at the end of the night and there wasn't a line at the tram and you were parked in Winnie the Stinking Pooh,
wait,
did
right
you take
there,
the tram?
The key, if there isn't a stinking line, and we all know, especially Disneyland, you're waiting a half hour now at the park.
I'm not debating Disneyland. That's a totally different beast. This is Disney World we're talking.
Yeah, no, if there wasn't a line, yes, the tram was always a nice thing to hop on at the end of the night and fall asleep on. But
fond memories. It also, the tram being there means the walkways are less crowded too, Jeremiah. So, that's all I'm saying. All right, next up. I'm so sick of it. The only thing worse than anti-tram people, or anti another thing I can't think of that's not coming to mind, but you anti-tram people drive
anti-gravity.
Shut up. See? Tram? Thank you, Kyle. That's why Kyle's never a seagull. We respect Kyle around here.
Hey, if you take the tram, that is great. I have nothing against it, but I've also sat on the tram and had to listen to the people go, why is it taking so long? Why can't we just start moving?
Whiny.
Yes,
if you had been here on time for the pre-show meeting, you'd know we have nothing but positive things to say about the tram today. Okay, so is this like
are great. They are beneficial to the environment, and they help cast members keep their jobs.
Dang it, I was just going to say something, but no, I want to show something. My last pro tram thing I need to show you guys, just to prove how right I am.
Tramtastic day. Tram, and everything will be all right.
All right. Yes. Tramtastic day, Jeremiah. Why'd you leave, Jeremiah? Does that trigger you?
Familiar?
Jimmy Fallon and Tramtastic. Yes, those are two of the best things to ever come out of Universal.
I like Jimmy Fallon's Race to New York. Evil Queen disagrees with you. Never takes it a waste of time. I feel like we need to do some more tram research. This is a little more one-sided than I thought. But let's move on.
I will, when the trams come back, I will park the furthest spot possible and time how long it takes to tram and how long it takes to walk.
You should run alongside the tram as it's going, like in Superman the movie.
All right. We're moving from Superman to Star Wars on Thursday. Yes, Thursday. There was a big event to kick off Ahsoka, a big fan event, because apparently the actors are not available. And they had one in New York. They had one in San Francisco. We were there. They had one in Hollywood. We were there. They had one in Disneyland. We were there. They had one in Disney World. We were there. 3 of those people are in this stream right now. So let's talk to them. Let's start with you, Mike Celestino, as you show off. How cool was your fan event at the El Capitan Theater?
That's not
in
from the
Hollywood?
event. Real quick, can I go back to Disney Junior Day? Because this is Star Wars related. I got to draw at the Animation Academy. I got to draw Nubs from Young Jedi Adventures. There's a photo of that up somewhere, I think. Do we have that?
I can try to find it. Sure.
Anyway, but I just thought it was cool that there is a new character you could draw at the Animation Academy for
Yay! And he's
the Disney Junior
No, that's not him.
play date. But we could go on to there we go.
Why does Nubs look like he's going to eat your soul, though?
Did you put yours in here? Oh, there it is. Yes. Dang. Is Nubs a bad guy?
The instructor was actually saying how, like, ordinarily when you see characters with fangs, like 2 fangs, it means that they're bad, that they're villains, but it's not true with Nubs.
Gonna be a villain in my dreams tonight. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And then previous to that, on Wednesday, no, what day of the week was that? Thursday. I went to El Capitan Theater in Hollywood for the Star Wars Ahsoka fan event where they showed the first 2 episodes, much like they did at the other ones around the country. It was really cool. They had a nice setup, a red carpet with the step and repeat out front. They had costumes. People, guests, fans came in costume. Cool photo ops. A really nice display of the costumes, the actual costumes from the show.
Oh,
there's
nice.
a bunch of fans in costume on the stage at the El Cap. And in the costume display on the lower level, they had the actual like animatronic Hu Yang droid, and he was moving, which I was blown away by that. I don't know how they set that up, but that was pretty neat for a one-day event. I thought that they really went above and beyond with that. It looked really neat. And then they had the speeder bike, Sabine's speeder bike from the show, and they had a DJ playing music beforehand, and everybody was getting all hyped up. And they showed the episodes. Everybody seemed into it.
All but one.
That was my experience. Benji wasn't there, so he wasn't putting everybody down.
Cool. So that was Mike at the El Capitan Theater, which technically is not a theme park. So let's go to Jeremiah next, who got to experience this at Walt Disney World.
Yes, it was a D23 event that sold out so fast. I was lucky enough. I had some friends go, hey, we have an extra spot. So I got the chance to go there. For us, it was playing the park. They gave us a gift card for dining in the park. We had the chance to build our own droid from the droid factory. And then they took us in. They gave us lightning lanes for Star Tours, Rise of the Resistance, and Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And then we went into the One Man's Dream Theater and watched the first 2 episodes. As we were and in there, they actually gave us blue or green milk, some of the popcorn from the land, and the sodas and waters from the land also, which was pretty cool. And then Mark Daniels at the end is talking. I love the show. I think Mike and I both enjoyed it on the same level as it's really good. We don't know what Doobie's or Benji's problem was, but as they're leaving, Mark Daniels makes the announcement of, and you're all getting lightsabers. So yeah. And then they took us back, walked us all through the park, which was quite fun with everybody holding their lightsabers all lit up and all the guests just wondering what we were doing. Walked us through Toy Story Land. I sent you the other picture, Doobie, on Slack.
Okay.
Walked us into Galaxy's Edge to set up a photo op, which if I never have to yell Ahsoka again, I'll be very happy. But this was the complimentary photo they gave us, and all the videos from all across the U.S. that they did. We were always the first and last of us lighting up the lightsabers or deactivating them. It was an amazing event. Out of all the D23 events I've ever been to, this one was just head and shoulders above the rest.
Very nice. And then, of course, Rebecca got to go to one at Disneyland Resort. So you want to tell us about your experience, Rebecca?
I had a similar experience to Jeremiah's as far as items. I was on a media invite rather than as a D23 login. I built a droid. They gave us as we enter. Oh, let's see. Here's my droid. By the way, click. It's cute. Kind of a version of.
I'm glad we both went with the chopper head.
Yeah, well, I have an R2. I have a DO over there. The only thing I don't have yet is BB-8, and I've not heard great things about BB-8 operationally, so I didn't pick one up. But they gave us Ahsoka ears. As we entered, we got to pick. This was held at the Tomorrowland theater where you used to see Captain EO. So that was fun. I think Gideon, I brought Gideon with me, and he's not much of a Star Wars fan. I think he was more excited about having the opportunity to go inside an extinct attraction than anything else. But they gave us popcorn and snacks like Sour Patch Kids and stuff. And as we waited for Ahsoka to debut, we had a DJ up front. There was a trivia contest going on. I was actually surprised at how much of this I knew. So I didn't realize that my Ahsoka knowledge stuck with me. All the Rebels episodes and whatnot I'd watched hung with me. As we completed watching the episodes, they gave us also those in attendance. All the guests there got the lightsabers, Ahsoka lightsabers, the dual white. They're cool. They buy, like you could hear with Jeremiah. They make noise when you hit them against each other. They're currently on Shop Disney, by the way. They're $65 for the pair. They held up pretty well. They got abused because I had to throw them, kind of in a suitcase kind of thing and bring them back. Well, no, on a plane and get them home. So they held up pretty well to that. And then the people. It seemed to me the people who were on a media invite were taken to Star Tours, and so we all rode Star Tours together. And I think what was going on the other side, based upon some images that have come out since, I have the impression that maybe like a photo shoot or something, but I don't know. I don't know what happened because they divided the crowd into two groups, and some of us went one way and some of us went another way. And then about maybe half hour or so after we watched the episodes, we were invited over to the launch bay for a special meet and greet. And it was a chance to get to see Ahsoka. And as she will appear in Galaxy's Edge, you will not find her at Launch Bay. You will find her wandering Galaxy's Edge, much like we've seen Mandalorian and such. Really, it was an impressive interaction. I enjoyed the meet and greet. I am very excited to see her make her way to Galaxy's Edge. So yeah, there you go.
So Ahsoka makes her debut at Galaxy's Edge on Wednesday. Mike Celestino, I believe, is planning to be there.
I will be there.
Hopefully get a good look at her in her native environment. Yes, hon?
I saw on Twitter, Scott Gustin reported that you can now find like Mandalorian appearances in the app. I can't recall if it was specifically Disney World or not, but I hope that that'll be the case. For all of these characters that are now kind of making these random appearances, because people want to see them, and you feel weird just kind of constantly lingering around and kind of unsure when they'll show up. So
Oh, does that feel weird? Oh yeah, is that tough?
Not as weird. Never mind.
So I'm grateful that it looks like they're catching on to the fact that this is a high enough demand that people want to be able to know when to find them, since they don't have the same kind of like Little Mermaid right now. If I want to go take a picture with Ariel, I can go find her in her location between these hours, and it's much more challenging to catch up with these Galaxy's Edge Star Wars characters. So I'm glad to know that at least it's beginning to pop up that way.
Ahsoka Wednesday, Mike will be there. The show premieres tomorrow at 6 p.m. Some great news from Disney Plus. A premiere that won't keep Mike up until 2:30. So all three of you guys have already seen it. We're obviously not going to talk about it today, but Mike, on Thursday, who's the boss?
Yeah. Right. Thursday at 1 p.m.
with Rebecca, and they'll be talking about deep dive into the first two episodes of Ahsoka.
Every shot and line will be examined and analyzed.
I believe it's going to be like the definitive commentary on Ahsoka. Yeah, it's going to be so deep. Books will be written about this commentary.
Dave Filoni won't talk to you about the show because he's on strike, but this is the next best thing.
I'm having to get up at 4 a.m. that morning to fly home, so I don't know how much of a deep dive I'm going to be off right, but I'll be there.
All right, let's move on to Jeremiah. Back to Jeremiah, who got to do some really keen things last week. Can you tell us about being one of the first to see
Did you
Journey
use
of
the
Water?
Force?
Yes, I made the water rise.
That's what it looks like.
Yes, I was one of the. I was invited to experience Journey of Water, inspired by Moana. Had an Imagineering tour. Put up a full article about that, but overall, I really enjoy it. And I talked to some of the other people who recently have gotten a chance to do some of the cast member previews, and I think overall the opinion is pretty standard that it is a fun area. Sadly, it's going to be very, very busy when it first opens, so probably not base your overall judgment on that. But when it does slow down from not everybody being a vlogger, a website, or just trying to get their kids to do stuff with the water, and you can stroll through and enjoy it, it'll be a lot of fun. But I did enjoy that it's educational, not over the head. It's Moana, not over the head. And you don't have to get wet if you don't want to, and you're really good at avoiding kids splashing.
Opening when, Jeremiah? We get a date?
No. And that was one of the things that I was really expecting at the end of the tour. Like okay, and thank you guys for all enjoying this, and we're going to open on... Nope. There is no information. I would probably, if I had to put money down on a date, sometime after Destination D.
Okay, there you heard it here, folks. Heard it here first. Never mind. I can't even speak. All right. In other opening news, something we did get a date for, very excitingly, is Tiana's Palace. Disney has told us that this will be opening on September 7th, 2023. So, former French Market, reopening as a quick-service restaurant themed to Tiana's movie, which is called Princess and the Frog. There we go.
It's called Tiana's Bayou Movie.
Each inspired by.
And this will go along with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which will open sometime in 2024. Very excited for a new restaurant out there. It's so colorful. That's what excites me. It's kind of the anti Ralph Reynolds Jazz Kitchen, don't you think?
Oh, can I bring up something that I saw debated on Twitter? Yes. I guess so. Put that thing back up. The
Put
picture.
that thing back on. So help me. Okay.
I guess that some people, and the way the Disney Parks blog wrote about this, it seemed like they were saying that this was that the visual in the film was inspired by the location, and now the location is inspired by the film, because there was this kind of dual smokestack dynamic. But I know that we also know that we truly know that it was inspired by some location in New Orleans that has this dual smokestack. So I'm wanting to know if the original location was also inspired by the same location that this was inspired by, but now this is inspired by the fictionalized version of that location.
I actually followed that.
On your next trip to New Orleans, that'll be your goal.
Right?
Find the place that inspired the place that inspired the place, but it was changed and then inspired by a different place.
Yeah.
I actually miss New Orleans. I don't know why, because I don't particularly like it, but I miss it.
Laughing Place does not endorse Doobie's dislike of New Orleans.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, see, that was good. People follow that. Yeah, it made sense.
It.
What's ironic is that place in New Orleans was actually inspired. All right. We did get some not surprising news, but I think a lot of us were hoping that Rogers the Musical would last beyond August 31st. Now, that doesn't mean it's not coming back, but Disney did officially announce that it will close on August 31st as originally announced. It is a popular attraction. I still would be surprised if we don't see it again. But
and all of its Saturday performances were canceled.
Yes.
So it did
for
not
technical reasons.
It did not perform on Saturday.
Yeah.
And
canceled for technical reasons, apparently.
But there were, I know that people are feeling like, you know, they're running out of hence my Wednesday visit to DCA, fingers crossed. So my friend Anita and I are hoping to go see Rogers on Wednesday. So hopefully that'll work out. We'll see.
It is very strange to me that my in-laws have seen Rogers the Musical, and Cole, who will be writing the Extinct Attraction article, has not been able to see it because of those cancellations.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well,
and Anita is currently in Vegas, and so is Tropical Storm. I don't even know if she's still a tropical storm at this point, but so hopefully the weather will not block her from being able to arrive. So yeah, so it's been these last few days of Rogers the Musical have been challenging for people to get to the show and to be able to see it. So, and then it's dark today, as I recall, right? It's dark on Mondays. They don't have shows on Mondays. So yeah, it's
at a time.
Yep.
The Adventureland Treehouse is inspired by Moana, or shoot. The Treehouse, Rebecca, you got to see Adventureland Treehouse inspired by Swiss Family.
Inspired by Treehouse Masters.
Tiana's advice. Yeah.
It's
Rebecca,
bright and cheerful.
You got to get a good look at it. Tell us about it.
I know Mike has too, but what struck me was it's bright and cheerful. It has a lovely brightness to it, you know, and at night I noticed some colored lamps hang in the tree as well.
Looks pretty at night. Yeah.
I'm glad that we don't have the pinch point anymore. Yeah.
We don't have an opening date for it yet, but the scrims and scaffolding has mostly come down.
I
for good this time.
Money.
Did that come down only because of the impending storm? It was legitimately coming.
Yeah, they had been down for a little while.
Okay.
And Jeremiah is making predictions?
I would put money down that we will know an opening date sometime after Destination D.
As I was corrected this morning, Jeremiah, it is not called Destination D.
Destination D23.
Thank you. Nomenclature matters. The
Sponsored
event formerly
by
known as Destination D.
Yeah, I'm excited. By the way, more exciting than that going on in Adventureland is the fact that walls came down around the bathroom. Because as somebody who just visited Disneyland, let me tell you, not having those Adventureland bathrooms proved to be quite inconvenient.
Where do you go?
Well, let's see. There was well, okay. So when you're standing right by Pirates of the Caribbean and a member of your family says, "I have to go to the bathroom," your options are Rancho del Zocalo, the bathroom in New Orleans Square.
Yeah.
And
that one's
those
nice.
were the two
Yeah.
that instantly popped into my head. Where that was kind of your option.
Does Tiki still have its little single
Yeah.
restroom?
They
Oh,
they
okay.
expanded
I didn't know
that.
it still had
So
it.
yeah.
Okay,
So there's
I
the
could have
secret
sent him over
restroom.
there.
Speaking of Rancho del Zocalo, I remember when that opened.
Oh man, when I said that as we walked by, your son said to me, "Oh, you're an old timer, aren't you?" Like wounded.
Casa Mexicana, man. Remember it well. Zocalo. I still think of Rancho del Zocalo as a new place.
Right? That's what hit me was, oh wow, this place is not new.
Wait.
And it still has the longest
Don't-
women's line I saw all trip.
Don't look it up, Jeremiah.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
looking
tell
it
me
up.
that.
I want to say it was 98, 99.
Yeah, I'm sure it was before we got married.
Oh really? Oh, I thought it
Oh
was.
no, maybe not. Maybe not.
I thought it was
Before the website, because we didn't cover
Yeah.
it. So before the website.
Yeah. So
Jeremiah
I thought
will
it
let
was
us know.
98. But,
Ahsoka down there will let us know.
yeah.
Jeremiah's Ahsoka shirt, by the way, courtesy of Roosevelt's.
I like that shirt.
It's a really nice shirt. I love it. The colors are beautiful.
By the way, did you get a normal sized body for your Sea Droid, or did you go short and stubby like I did, so that you have to add the wheel?
I went normal.
Yeah, see,
They
I went
didn't have a
short-
lot of colors for mine.
Yeah, I went short and stubby. So he's shorter than he's so cute.
Rancho del Zocalo opened on my birthday in 2001.
2001.
Maybe LP did cover that. No, right, basically when DCA opened, 2 days before DCA opened.
Wow.
That so does not sound right, but it is.
I know. I'm looking at it also. You're looking at the D23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as official as it gets. Okay.
And as Kyle points out, tomorrow on Barely Necessities, I do plan to talk a little bit about the fun you can have with a droid, because it is a little bit more fun than you might think just on the surface. So I'm going to share a little bit more about that.
Right. If we can get Jeremiah's attention again, we're going to talk
I'm
Disney
here.
World some
I'm here.
more. And we are talking Bruno and Mirabelle coming
Nope,
to Magic
we're not
Kingdom.
talking about Bruno.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, so Maribel is taking over this space. This wasn't, I didn't get a chance to tweet this out, Doobie. Let me send you this photo really quick.
Okay.
Not that it really shows anything other than construction walls, but we do
love
love
walls.
construction walls. She is moving into the former location of Merida. Sorry, I'm just trying to find where. There it is. That wasn't built until the late 90s. Sorry, the echo's throwing me some. And in her place with the Adventurers Cavalcade, Bruno is taking over, which for me, I just felt like it was strange to put him in there. But then, as was pointed out, almost everybody else that's part of the Adventurers Cavalcade are not adventurers. They're just random characters that they can put in there somewhere. Doobie.
Sorry, Doobie, I muted you.
I know. September 15th.
September 15th, that will happen. As far as Maribel going into this location, they got some serious work to do for it.
They said it'll be here September 15th. So
Yeah.
we trust. And that's all a part of the start of Hispanic and Latin America Heritage Month, was kicked off on September 15th. So give a quick picture, show it off, make sure the echo will come.
Yeah, so that is, it's still set up. Even the banners and everything are still for Merida. They've done some trimming of the trees in there. So when it looks like the casita, hopefully it sings to us as we're waiting in line to meet Maribel.
Also at Disney World, Jeremiah, today you got to look at Discount City. What's going on?
Yeah, Discount City. Discounts. The backside of the co-op, which was at one point the Marvel store. It was also kind of the Art of Disney, or the Disney. Why can't I think of the name of the art? part of Disney. Anyway, it is now Wandering Oaken's big summer blowout. Adult apparel, buy one get one 50% off, and this has every shirt that you've looked at and just went, no, I don't really want it. But now you can buy one and get one for 50% off.
By the way, in addition, another way I know I'm old when you were talking about this, my first thought wasn't this the original ride location for ride makers? So,
was it? No, that's where
Yeah.
the school was.
I think
Yes.
I think the back half of that store for a short period of time
No.
was the original rollout for ride makers.
Yeah. And that's not Team Mickey anymore?
Also, the next slide that you'd shown, the Tommy Hilfiger line that wasn't released that long ago, Rebecca. I don't remember exactly how long. That is all now 30% off.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow.
so what used to be the Disney dress shop is now Tommy Hilfiger, which is now, or I'm sorry, dress shop then was the Nat Geo, which was 30% off. Nat Geo is now Tommy Hilfiger, which is now 30% off.
Wow. Okay.
This is the same at Disneyland and here at Disney World. The hilts are of the select Legacy lightsabers. From what I understand, it is all Legacy lightsabers at this point are 30% off. So if you're looking to get one of those, definitely head over there. And this one is the one that really threw me and almost emptied my wallet. The 50th, not only the gold statues, but even the stuff, the Peter Pan ship, the Tiki drummer from Kevin and Jody, those are all 30% off. And for those, you can stack discounts. So it's 30% off the pirate ship for $99 plus your annual pass discount, DVC discount, Disney Chase Visa, cast member. So I almost walked home with the 50th castle.
Gio pointing out that shop does group shirts by size. That's a pretty neat idea.
Keen. All right, we're going to stay at Disney World for a moment. I have a question for Mike Celestino, though. Big fan of sushi?
No.
Well, too bad. I thought you would be. You're a gluten-free man, and here you have a gluten-free item. What about sushi do you not like?
I've tried it. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know. Doesn't appeal to
Okay.
me.
All right, fine. Doesn't have to. All right, I'm going to get this. Shikisai Sushi Izakaya is they've actually started soft opening, right, Jeremiah?
Yes, they started opening on Thursday. It was one of the jokes that I made when we were walking in to see Journey of Water inspired Moana, that they were really just swerving us to take us to have some sushi. They did not.
Yeah, good thing, because Mike wouldn't have liked that. So the rest
I totally agree, Kyle. That yes, Mike answered that exactly as if he was in a Senate hearing. Very long pause and a singular answer. Singular word answer. Very good.
This restaurant take over for Tokyo Dining and in Japan Pavilion. It has $2 signs, which is pretty reasonable. Although they do have some chef specials that range from $100 to $300, so you can eat at whatever price point you want to. I hope Jeremiah gets to go check it out soon. Jeremiah, you a big fan of sushi?
Nope.
That was good. Mike was better, but that was good.
No, I'm not I have a slight seafood allergy, so sushi is not one of my favorite things, but I have definitely enjoyed some California rolls and other things throughout.
I have had California rolls that I liked also. That's like entry-level sushi.
Yeah.
I get veggie, because obviously I'm a vegetarian, and I still consider it sushi, and I love it. I love it. So I say I like sushi, even though I've never had actual fish sushi before. All right. Disney Treasure, we got this lovely surprise announcement that come August 30th, there is going to be a preview event for the Disney Treasure. First look, who knows what they're going to show us, but I am very, very excited, whatever it is, because it's a cruise ship, and there is nothing more exciting than a cruise ship, except maybe an Adventures by Disney, which I can't believe I just said that. So stay tuned, Disney, August 30th. We'll obviously be watching that along with you and covering it as best as we can. And speaking of cruise, if you, like Jeremiah, have been on 50 of them, you can get honored at Castaway Cay. They are taking families who have had 50 cruises or more, and creating a special place on Castaway Cay where they can be remembered. They get to choose their emblem and their family name and be remembered forever. So I hope to one day achieve this goal. I got a long way to go.
Will they bury you there?
Is it something that is ongoing? Is it when you achieve 50, you get one, or is it?
They did not give the impression it is, honestly. So I would not assume it is. Nevertheless, I have it as a goal. And then once I get there, I'll petition to let me in. Which one of these four would you choose, Jeremiah?
I would choose the compass.
Wrong. Mike?
I'm going to go with Anchor because it reminds me of the mayor's suit jacket in Jaws.
Isn't still wrong, Rebecca?
I'm also a compass rose.
No, it's the basic logo on the far right. But nice try, everybody.
Well, Doobie, if there is one thing we know about you, it is you are basic.
Big influencer. Gio can't fathom the thought of 50 cruises. How many have you taken, Gio? Because I couldn't fathom it either at 0, but as soon as I hit 1, I had no trouble fathoming 50 cruises.
I only know of one person in my friend group, and I think definitely at least 3 of our friend groups that has achieved the 50 cruises that will be getting one. So we should definitely have her on to talk about it.
When on our cruise, there were a few people, as I recall, because they did one of those, how many, clap if you've been on this many cruises, and they started to get up into those numbers, and I was surprised by how many people around me were applauding.
I see what you did there too, Gio. It's a little late, but I did see it. Fathom. What are we? We're at 12, I think. 50, no problem. I could do 50 by the end of next year if I had the opportunity.
What is it to get to the second level of the Castaway Club?
25? No. Oh, the second level? Silver?
Yeah. No, gold, isn't it? Silver.
Oh, silver just means you've taken it before. Gold is 5, platinum is 10, and pearl is 25.
Yeah, so I'm at 5.
You're golden, Jeremiah. Mike's at 1. So
at 1.
On your next cruise, you're silver.
Woohoo!
Means you get a backpack.
You see so many. You do. I think. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but
you
it's
see so many silver lanyards. People like to show off that they've been before. You don't see a lot of gold and platinum lanyards because we're like, I don't need people to know that I'm a regular here. Let me blend in.
Yeah, they already know. Oh, it's Doobie. We know. We don't approach
that guy. Hide the buffet. Doobie the back. All right.
Is that why they closed the buffet for so long, Doobie?
Hide the trivia medals.
Yeah.
Now I want to go on a cruise with Doobie, so I have some competition in the trivia department.
Hang on, let me.
And Jeremiah.
We've done. Thanks for sharing those. Happy your head there. We've done. Oh jeez. Oh my goodness.
Wait, does he have them all?
Okay, let's do the game. I have Chippendale.
So do we.
I have the ship.
So do we.
I
Should go get
have
my bag.
Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to make sure which ones. I have Daisy Duck.
Where there are children crying because they don't have medals because Jeremiah had to win them all.
Oh wait, I do have a story about that also. I have Pluto, Goofy, and Donald Duck. Minnie Mouse is the one that I'm missing.
Which one are you missing?
Minnie Mouse. They didn't have any on my cruise, or they gave them away.
Now, should I go get mine from the other room to show to you?
Do you have, Jeremiah, the Pin Trader's pin?
Yes, I do. I don't have it with a piece of paper attached to it. So, quick story. When my friends that had I don't think I have one of those right here.
Do you have these, Jeremiah? The old version?
Yeah. Oh, but I also have.
Oh, very nice. We have the old version of that one.
Yeah, I have.
Do you have a Castaway Cay medal? 5K.
That's what he just showed, dude.
Oh, sorry. I was looking for mine.
But this has Mickey. Look, You got the
Okay,
Mickey
fine.
Mouse.
His is better. I've got a pin trader medal. I don't want to hear about it.
So when my friends who I met on my last Disney cruise that adopted me as part of the family, that saw me sitting at trivia by myself and went, "Hey, do you want to join?" When we were checking into the Ahsoka event, the cast member goes to me, "Were you on the cruise with 3 other people?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, they're right there." They come over and goes, "We came in second behind you at every single trivia thing we were at."
No.
Jeremiah just ha.
Oh no.
It
I
was
would-
quite entertaining, but there's my.
Yeah. I would love to go with Mike because I've sat in on Star Wars trivia with no hope of winning, and those questions are so hard. But I really think Mike could totally show off and do well, at least until they did what is it you're bad at, Rebels, or Clone Wars or something. Until they did that, but
I'll tell you a funny story. When I was winning a lot of Star Wars trivia on the ship, a dude came up to me and was like, "How'd you get so good at Star Wars trivia?" And Tori, who was there with me, told the dude that I consume and write about Star Wars for a living. And I was like, "No, don't say anything. I want people to know that." It's an unfair advantage.
Wait. Let me get this straight. You would rather him just believe that you're that knowledgeable, not that that's part of how you make your living, so that you have this lucrative reason.
I know. I would definitely think it's more prestigious that I figured out a way to make money at Star Wars than I waste my life watching Star Wars.
Well, my argument was I became a
Right.
professional Star Wars consumer by already knowing a lot about Star Wars. So
That is true.
That is a good point, but now you can hide behind that. All right.
Hey, I always say I'm in this gig to hide my addiction. So you gotta make money out of it.
LP was started for one reason. I'm spending all my time at Disneyland. I better figure out a way to make money at it. It's really that simple. Anything else anybody got going on before we close out today?
oh yeah, can I do a little show and tell? I
like
as we were
leaving.
leaving Chalk Walk yesterday, I went through the Star Wars trading post, and I would meant to tweet this stuff, but I forgot because we were so exhausted. But there's a new fig pin. I'm into these fig pins now. I don't know if you guys like them, but there's this Hondo Onaka fig pin that I picked up, and then there's also a new like blind box Star Wars pin set that's all about the planet Navarro. It surprised me that they it surprised me that they called it that because it is all Mandalorian characters. You think it would sell better if it would just call it the Mandalorian, but inside I got the heavy Mandalorian, aka Paz Vizsla, the Jon Favreau character.
Oh, nice.
And little Grogu.
Oh, little Grogu. Oh, those are cool. I like it. With the rose gold back, kind of. Is it a rose gold or a copper? It's cool.
Yeah, I would say rose gold is right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Dude, fig pins are cool.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I hate how much I like the fig pins.
Yeah.
Another thing.
It's okay, Mike. You make a living doing this. You're allowed.
Right.
All right. I think that's it for today, guys. Unless Jeremiah, you have anything?
Good.
All right. Rebecca?
Once again, we want to thank Roosevelt's for Jeremiah's shirt. And I want to thank Disney Parks for the droid and fun that I had this week there. So thank you.
I would like to pre-thank Roosevelt's for the shirt I will be wearing tomorrow. So thank you. Thank you for joining us today, everybody. We'll be back next week with another edition of Parks Talk Live. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the start of 3-Show Tuesday with 9 a.m. We'll do our morning show, 4 p.m. Pacific. We will do Barely Necessities, Disney Merchandise Show, and then at 7:30 p.m. it will be me and my son, unsupervised, for Disney Trivia Live. So please stay tuned to this channel, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and select all notifications. You won't miss a thing. Thanks, everybody.